Google AI thinks I am dead
Well,
because of
Chaos-
UHC
Chaos?
generation.
Chaos, I didn't know we were talking to a ghost.
It's
well,
a seance.
I am a
Ooh.
ghost.
I thought Phasmophobia was going to be a different episode.
Sing to me, Calliope, muse of epic poetry, of legs, and the bits that are found within the bites. Sing of the islands, and the winters, and the bloody fangs we allowed to close around our throats. Welcome to FanDive, my name is Chaos.
And my name is Andy. Guess who's here?
They let me in the building. Hi, I'm Legundo.
Yeah, and we have a special guest star today of Legundo and Dog.
And Cookie.
And
Yeah,
dog.
Cookie
And dog.
is very much demanding attention at the moment.
Which
on
is
my
perfectly
lap,
fine.
so.
I refuse
It
to
is-
not
it is-
accept
it
Dog.
is distracting to the existing hosts of the podcast, though, so we have to be careful of that.
We were
100%,
originally going to talk about this, like, end of Vampires, which was more than a month ago at this point.
Yeah.
And then you just, like, things just kept happening, which, to be fair, December, everything happens in December. And now it's like, we originally went from, like, yeah, let's talk about vampires to let's talk about everything at all times.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's
No
talk about the
pressure.
life.
It's
No
fine.
pressure, nor pressure of vampires and SBK and Haunted Winter and State of Legundo and everything
Oh,
else
boy.
about ClashOut.
the-
I think
all
I
the-
also was on the list for me to wanting to
Oh,
talk
all
about.
the things. Okay,
all the
we're going
things.
everywhere. Sounds good. I'm ready.
You ready? Okay.
Get the deep dive.
So beginning with, people know you mostly from vampires right now, and you're trying to get them into other things, obviously. But how the
Yes.
hell did you get involved in vampires?
Okay, so there's the funny answer, and then there's the real answer, I think.
hmm
The funny answer is I stayed in the same Airbnb with Oppo at TwitchCon Rotterdam. She doesn't want me to say that as the actual answer all the time, because then she'll just be like, no, whoever I stay with is going to have expectations. And sure, that's fine. But realistically, and this is pulling back quite a while, I think I can say thank you to that because of MCC Rising 2. I was in Rising 2, so was Oppo,
Mhm.
and our whole group stayed together so much during the events, after, and it's been years, and there are people who I still talk with, maybe not every day because we're all busy, but like every couple of days, a week doesn't go by that there's not some voice chat of a bunch of Rising 2 people who are still just hanging out at some point. The lifelong friends came out of that event, and we've all stuck together so much that Nox Crew had to make a MCC Rising graduates Discord that we would keep talking in. The Rising 3 people are there as well. We all just hang out. It's quite fun. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to mention that exists. I don't know. It's fine.
Uh-oh.
What's it going to spoil?
It's,
It's fine.
That you guys
But-
are friends? Oh no.
Oh no. Oppo and I had known each other since then, and then Rotterdam came around last year, and it's like, well, let's get an Airbnb, save a little money, make it a bit of a better trip. We hung out for a full week, and at one point in time, we were talking about content, and I mentioned how I wanted to get out of the 100 Days jail and do more episodic stuff. And she gave me the most egregious side eye ever. And then like a month or two later, I got a message of, hey, so about that episodic content stuff, here's a pitch. And it was funny social deduction game with spooky elements and vampires.
hmm
And
Yeah,
then,
it stayed that way, didn't it?
yeah, totally. And it totally stayed nice and simple. And it was just a nice little fun little death game. And that's it.
And then everything else happens. Episode 3 happened, and you had to throw all that out the window because everyone knew who everyone was.
Look, you put a bunch of, I don't want to say theater kids, but you put a bunch of theater kids all together and say, here you go with one of the most ripe for fantastical role play genres or tropes ever. And then we all just went for it. And we went for it from episode 1 too. It was
Yeah.
from the jump, everybody set such a tone that it was like, this was going to be more. And that group fell into a groove so quickly with each other that like it's lightning in a bottle. That group of people, like, we're still talking every day. We're still sharing fan art and everything else amongst everything. We're still planning more streams together. It's just been such a good group of people to be able to be a part of. So it's been so much fun.
I think it was Pyro that I heard talking about it. Of it's simple. I was doing this, and I have a basic character. Then you saw Owen across the river, and character. Yes,
Oh.
character.
Yeah. I don't really know how else to say it. There's a couple people who I think came in with a little bit less of a character expectation. I think Martin has said something similar, right?
Martin walked
How
in
he
with no
had-
backstory attached.
Yeah, he walked in with no backstory, so he turned that into his backstory. He turned out the fact that he was lying about his backstory
Yeah.
into the backstory itself because he was making it up. So if he ever contradicted himself, it just worked, right? Because it was just part of it was part of the lie. I had multiple versions in my head of what the doc could be depending on what events happened, and that's just being a
Patrick.
good role player, right? Being able to retroactively change whatever you need to, because it is all just made up. So whatever, change it to fit the story. And I think everybody, I don't think we were all ready for it at the start of the first session, but by the end of the first session, I think we were all kind of on the same page about what we were making here.
All roleplays like that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Gotta get
like-
episode 1. Gotta
Yeah.
get your foundation of who each other is, how you interact with one another.
And you calibrate too about how far you're going to go, and that needs to keep happening the whole way through too. Like you said, episode 3 was a big kind of landmark moment where the post session chat was maybe twice as long as normal. Ditto for episode 6, where that happened and everything else, and then at the end, it was just constantly checking in with each other and being like, is everybody good with the direction we're going? Is everybody good with how people are acting and everything else? And just constantly having good communication behind the scenes. It was messy on camera, don't get me wrong. It was. But behind the scenes, we're all actually talking to each other and having a great time. So it was quite fun.
I've been in quite a number of roleplay servers myself, and I feel like that is the mark of if something's going to succeed. Are you checking in with each other? Are you not so much approving lore, but making sure it's going in the direction? It's that feels comfortable for everyone's character and how they want to play the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's true of good roleplay. Like in Minecraft, in a tabletop setting, in any other setting, it is essential to just make sure to separate the characters from the people just a little bit, especially when you're behind them.
Especially when it's your name that's being used, or at least the name that you associate with yourself. And it's okay, we need a barrier somewhere.
Just a little bit.
I really, really hope that you've not committed war crimes yourself. Because if that's not the barrier, if that crosses the barrier, then we have to have
Under
other
the advisement
conversations
of
here.
legal counsel and invoking my fifth. No, I'm.
I do a lot of editing software work for the local how do I explain this in a way that makes sense? There's a group of Jedi who have approval from Lucasfilms, who they're the official costuming group of the state, and they brought me in to do editing software work. Yeah, and they want to make me a shirt that says "Ask me about my Minecraft war crimes" because I know nothing about Star Wars, but I'll tell them all about my Minecraft war crimes.
I might need to make one of those.
Mm-hmm. Just in Sharpie.
I want somebody who doesn't watch Minecraft, who doesn't know you at all, to see you at a convention wearing that shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, who are you? What about your war crimes? Oh, I love the dog.
He's cute, right?
Everything's perfect.
Yeah. It is funny. He's gotten fan art lately.
As he should.
People have drawn my dog, which is, just one of many things that I was not expecting would happen in the big 2025. So
I would gladly say my dog got fan art before I did, and I think that is perfect.
I'm well aware I'm not like a bunch of other creators. Most of the stuff people know me from is my cosplays of other creators, which obviously creates an extra step, but it's still all the same. You get every once in a while somebody is inspired by what you do, and that makes it even more exciting, and just I was inspired to do this by somebody else, and you're inspired by me. I'm gonna freak out now, because that's how I got here in the first place.
It is genuinely one of the best parts about being a creator, is seeing other people be inspired and make stuff because of the things that you do. And the fact that carries on through multiple levels and multiple iterations of it is something that is uniquely special to being a creator on the internet, because there are all these different groups and subgroups and communities that now intersect and overlap, but it can also be cyclical. Like, I am a fan of some of the people who are making art of the stuff that we did in Vampires. I am a fan of some of the people who have made videos and stuff for that because of that. I've purchased some of the people who have made fan-made merch of my character and the other people in this series because I want to support that because it's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's been, I think, one of the coolest things about Vampires is that because all of us on the cast are as connected as we are, people are been scared by that a little bit, which has been very fun to do.
Scatter, everybody scatter.
Jump scare
Legs
them,
might find it and
reblog
send
them
it to
on
his friends.
Tumblr. I found
Everybody
somebody in the
run!
comments of the AO3 subreddit yesterday, and I think I blew their minds, which was very
Oh
fun.
no.
But no, Chaos, I think you said it. You're like, they just live here. Try getting rid of Viking Pilot.
That's gonna
It's really
happen.
hard.
Out of all that cast, Viking is the one who's not leaving anytime soon.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, he lives in the walls. Like, you cannot get rid of him. That man just
It's fine.
spawns.
I was a fan of him before I was a fan of you, and I'm fine keeping it that way.
Hey, that's fine. I'm not complaining at all. Viking's awesome.
Weird interconnections is honestly my favorite part of all of this. People know people, you get to know people, you don't get to know people. Like, people you used to look up to are like one step away, or your friend now. Chaos, I watched your stuff long before we became friends. And I remember our other person, which we consider our
Secret third host.
secret third host, would watch my stuff, and eventually at one time I messaged him and was like, teach me how you made that thing. And then we just never stopped talking, and that led me to get connections to a few more other people. I mean, all the people who do CMVs.
Or the cosplay community.
Oh,
yeah. The amount of people who came to TwitchCon San Diego in Vampires cosplay. Oh my, like, that blew my mind. And it's funny because I've been doing this for a while, right? I've been on the internet since I was a teenager, and it's been a while. Okay, that was a long time ago. This year, especially with Vampires, especially with everything else, is so fundamentally different from everything else I've made in the past. I've always had a community, I've always had people supporting, but the amount of cosplay and art and fan fiction and everything else that's spawned from Vampires, and now that is spilling over into Skyblock Kingdoms, it is spilling over into other projects that we're doing into Haunted Winter. Like, there is a marked shift as far as the awareness of myself, of Pyro, of Oppo to some people. They didn't know of POW Creations, but they knew of the Hermitcraft members who were involved.
Yeah.
So now they're aware of all of POW, and through that are now aware of myself and Pyro and Avid and everybody else who was not a part of the spheres that they're in. There are so many different bubbles in content creation as a whole, but especially in the Minecraft space. And we've had this kind of Nexus event where there was so many different crossovers recently. Even more so when Rat joined us when we were doing the train stream, because we were one player short and she didn't know how to fix it, that we could have 2 killers with only 11 players. We were trying to do it with a cam account. I check over, I played in a Minecraft event with Rat 4 years ago. Just randomly as a one-off, and we've been Discord mutual since then. Never sent a message. It was like, hey, good event. Cool. Never spoke since. And then I'm getting debugging information suddenly. And I'm like, you know what? Just join us. Like, just join.
Just get in here.
And then that last round of that stream was insanity. But it was so cool seeing multiple people cross over in multiple different circles get to kind of overlap a lot, because people being willing to kind of take a chance and work with people they hadn't before yet.
And they all happen to enjoy cubes.
It's kind of like a weird game of 7 degrees, but at the same time it's like, but you want to make friends, you want community, so cross the 7 degrees, make it shorter, become friends, you guys.
On Skyblock Kingdoms, we have a bit about everybody's etho number. Imagine etho is the Kevin Bacon of Minecraft YouTube. What is your etho number? And a stream doesn't count. It has to be a produced video. What is your etho number for anybody else like that who can figure it out? Just because, again, etho's been around for forever, been a part of the community for forever, but the amount of overlap was effectively very small for a while. And then as he's built out and worked with different people, as Hermitcraft has built out and worked with different people, now that number is dropping for a lot of different people across the space.
Yeah.
So try to figure it out. Like what's everybody's etho number? And we think on average it's probably only like 2 or 3.
Well, okay, are we counting interactions or just making a video with person?
A piece of video content specifically.
With both people in it?
So like you to me to somebody else to etho. What's the steps? Like what's your
I'm trying to count, because I've interacted with Doc a few times, but we've not technically made a video with each other, but I was in his video. So would that step count or not?
No, that counts. You're in his video.
Okay. Fantastic. Then that's just 2 steps for me.
So your etho number is 2. So there you go.
Yeah.
And mine's going to be 3.
Etho
Cool.
is 0.
I cut a few lines. Yeah.
Yeah. Etho himself is 0, and then you step and 1, 2. So
Mm-hmm.
Then 1, 2,
when
yeah.
you think about it that way, most people are probably 2, maybe 3 tops. It's just we don't get the opportunity to see those crossovers except for like very kind of unique moments. It's special.
Yeah, but for some reason, vampires happened, and everyone went, yeah, that one right there.
That one's
Like
we're
that
going
one
to
right
lift
there.
up and make a big deal.
Look, Vampires has been very special. All the credit in the world to Oppo and Owen for everything that they built over the years to make Power Creations what it is. That when they send out a message of, do you want to be involved? You say yes. You say yes. You just say yes because you know it's going to work. And it has led to what people that I've now barely known for like 4 or 5 months feel like lifelong friends and probably will be. So
Hopefully.
that is, it just say yes. Just say yes when you get that message.
I was talking to Redstone Bug the other day, and we were basically talking about how Minecon has affected like the modern community so much for something that happens, I don't know, like 10 years ago at this point. And it's just like the amount of people who are now married because they met at Minecon, the amount of people who are now friends because 2 people met at Minecon, and then those 2 people introduced other 2 people. And it's just like, we need to bring back some sort of like, we get everyone together moment.
TwitchCon has kind of, but not the same.
TwitchCon's kind of taken that, especially with MCC being at almost every event and kind of a regular occurrence. But yeah, it's not something exclusively to just us. But I'll have a hot take here. I don't want another Minecon because I don't want Minecrafters to isolate themselves from the greater content creation space.
Fair enough.
I prefer us being a force of nature at TwitchCon to having a smaller event that would be just kind of for us, but would put us in our own little bubble again.
I enjoy multiple events anyway. Like, it's difficult for anybody to just do one type of content for their entire life. Even if you're a Minecraft person, you're gonna do other games, play other things, do other stuff. I enjoy just having multiple stuff going on, because if you have multiple chances for people to meet up, then you have multiple chances for people to meet up. And multiple times a year in different locations. That's why you got the one in the UK, you got Amsterdam, you got the California one, LA, San Diego. I enjoy when there's multiple. I wish we could do a sort of Minecon thing, but I also think that if 5, 10 Minecrafters, and I say that term loosely, decided we're going to meet up one day, good luck. Good luck, Event Center.
Find us.
There are a few very specific people in this community that I think could pull that off and could trigger something like that. Somebody called Toby, right? He's made a hosting website. He's made a streaming platform. He'll just make a convention. He's bored.
Yeah.
He totally doesn't have enough on his plate, right? It's fine.
Every time I check in with like, oh, what's going on in that side of the internet? I'm like, oh, everything. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And
it's just fun.
Yeah. Wait, before we get too off track about the whole convention space, ClashOut. You've started.
Okay. Yes. Oh. That's a fun story. So when we were being stalked in Amsterdam, the 6 of us came up with a very fun idea for a game. Which is the
as
truth.
you do.
That is the truth. Actually, well, technically we came up with it the previous night, but we first played it when we were being stalked in Amsterdam. Myself, Mazes, our friend Dalton, who's not as internet active, so I don't have a screen name to mention for them. Cysatic, Wadebox, Oppo. The 6 of us, that was our Airbnb. We played a bunch of board games one night, and one of the games we played was Muffin Time. And if you've ever played that game, there's all those trap cards that you set playing at the table. We're like, that was fun. What if we played it in real life? So we grabbed a bunch of the cards from Muffin Time, and we made our own little copies, and we put them in these little red card sleeves, and we played amongst the 6 of us when we went to Amsterdam. And then we had to find a craft shop in Rotterdam, and we randomly made a bunch more of the cards, and we played it in person over TwitchCon Rotterdam, and you saw so many people just getting each other with these cards. And it turned into such a thing. We called Creo. It's become a thing. The pre-order's over now. The overstock sale's coming at some point in the future. But to the point of being willing to go outside of your bubble and interact with more people to be able to make more stuff like that. Again, I can trace that all back to Rising 2 because Wade, Oppo, and myself were Rising 2. May was Rising 3. And some of May's other friends, like Abolish and other people on their team. Stystatic is friends with May, so that's another step removed. Dalton is an IRL friend of May, and so it's just so many different things had to come together to make this thing. And we've made a game that you can play in real life with your friends or at conventions with your friends. And we were just passing out cards. I still have what my hand was at the end of the event. It's just sitting here on the desk because I can't. But I also have 2 of the original cards from Rotterdam, the little made with Sharpie markers in the red sleeves right here. And they will always be here, but we'll have soon fully illustrated versions, which are coming out, which is very exciting.
That my friend goes to like an artsy college, like fully maybe like 20 people in any class max, and is part of a gaming club, and was like, hey, teacher who runs the gaming club, can we order like 50 of these and make the college play it? So congratulations, there's gonna be a random college playing it soon.
That's wild. Honestly, that's perfect.
Connections.
Connections.
We market that game as the best part of that game, and we were talking about interacting with different people, right, in the convention space and being comfortable to do it. I am notorious for this. There's a lot of people who have learned to not say, oh, that's so-and-so, but I'm afraid to go talk to them around me at a convention. Because I don't care.
You will
it's like
march
hand
up
behind
yourself.
the back, let's go. And we walk over and I will just start a conversation, get them introduced, and then just back away slowly and let them talk. I'm notorious amongst certain spaces for doing this. A lot of people have learned better, and if they really are nervous, don't say anything. Or the ones who don't get dragged into conversation. That game has led people to not be nervous about walking up to somebody. They're just excited to be able to have this moment of like, gotcha. And it gets rid of that barrier or that social stigma or that stress about what do I do to start a conversation. You have something in your hand. You just walk over, hand it to them. They read it. Half the time they're screaming or cursing. And then you either run away if you want to, or you just start talking about it because you have something to immediately bond over. So it's replicating that internet moment of, oh, I like this thing, and now you're involved in this thing, so here you go, and now we have something to talk about, so now we can now let's be friends. So it works.
If you could like go up to anyone and like force them to play ClashOut or just like get them involved somehow in your life, like who's like, I don't say your dream collab, but like your dream ability to just like go hang out with at any point.
Like anybody?
Yeah, like anybody.
I was hunting down Dan Clancy. I wanted to get him involved. I literally had 5 cards separately isolated in a different pocket of my pants. That if I saw Dan Clancy, I was going to get him. But I'd say it already kind of happened because one of the MCs, one of the hype men for TwitchCon San Diego, in the periods of time where the rival stream was going to commercials, it was his job to come out and engage with the people who were there in real life and do all sorts of stuff. And he just goes, have any of y'all been playing this ClashOut game? I got this rock, paper, scissors card and I don't know what to do with it. And he went down a row to play rock, paper, scissors with people. And I was one of the people helping MCC pass out the mid like halftime events. We were throwing air fresheners at people. It was one of the sponsors, but we helped. We put on lab coats and we threw stuff at people. I had a bunch of cards in my pocket, so I just grabbed a bunch of cards. I walked up to him. He had a lapel pocket, so I just opened it. I slid a hand of cards into his pocket, and I'm like, "Good luck, you're in now." That was the moment. It was just like, okay, cool. I have no idea who this is. I don't know their name, but here you go. Like, you're involved, and like, the fact that they didn't know, or they didn't know me, or it's not about chasing a specific person. I mean, other than Dan Clancy, I was. But it's more about the fact of if it can make it far enough away from me that I don't know who the other person is or they don't know who I am at all, then it's kind of, I know this is making a pun on my own name, but it has legs and it's being able to move on its
It has
own.
legs?
Yeah, it did.
Leg.
Yeah. But that actually, it happened in reverse too. I was doing a meetup at the Minecraft booth, and somebody came up to me and they handed me the card of, this can only be given away if it's signed by someone you both consider famous. They didn't know I was one of the people who made the game. They're just like, I don't know if you've heard about this thing, but we both think that you're famous. So can you sign this so you can do that? So I did that. And then I pulled the card out of my back pocket of, you can only get this from one of the founders. And I handed them that card too. And I'm like, by the way, I'm glad you like my game. And again, it got far enough away that they knew who I was, but they didn't know that this was attached to me. So it was two things independent of each other that kind of crossed over. That's the moment, which is when you know something is very cool, when people don't as much know your involvement in it or aren't expecting anything about this and you crossing over, and then you get to reveal that was so satisfying.
We've gotten a couple of comments on the podcast recently, basically asking like, yeah, who are Chaos and Endy? And I'm like, how'd you find this? Where did you come from?
We're really not big. Where did you come from? All we know is cosplay.
We know cosplay and talking a lot.
Hey, that's fine. I mean, what is streaming if not just talking a lot?
That's so true.
Yeah.
Back when I was doing streaming more, I had to warm up my voice each and every time. And I would go to school, because I was still in school at the time, and just be like, yeah, hello, I'm really tired. What happened to your voice? I talked for 3 hours straight, and it was too much.
Yeah, that probably feels like rookie numbers nowadays, right?
Yeah,
Well,
I love streaming.
well.
I do, but I've gotten so like into like I love editing more. I'm like, I don't want to stream anymore. I just want to YouTube, and I'm like, this is very bad for my streaming numbers. I stream like once a week now, when it used to be every day.
I guess it's just what we have the time. I'm lucky enough that like I can go live during the day. I don't have a day job. I don't have school. Well, I have my kids' school to worry about, but I don't have my school to worry about, so I don't have to be there. I just need to pick them up. So I can be a lot more flexible with the time that you can physically spend in front of the camera. Because streaming's extremely demanding as far as it's only working when you're physically sitting there. You can upload a video, and that video can go and do its own thing, and you can be working on the next one. So streaming, you don't get that. You have to.
I work at a school. I'm getting my master's degree. I live at a house where like multiple people work from home. So I'm like, when do I have time to be quiet? For 5 seconds? Never. The answer is never.
No, absolutely not. Never. Never be standing still. No, please do that. Self-care is important. Don't take that seriously. Please, listener, don't. Stand still. Take self-care.
Go stand in the woods or something. Unfortunately, my woods are flooded right now, so I can't like super go outside. But
yeah.
I love the woods.
I love the woods.
Let's go.
There's one last talking point we have to bring up before we move on to the Q&A. Legs.gg. Minigame Central.
Yes. Okay.
I love it.
This has really just become the Legundo pitches his stuff podcast episode.
Yes, do it.
Because why do you think you're here? You can come back again and talk about things you like, but right now it's about you.
It is. Look, if you wanted to talk about other stuff, I'm here to talk about other stuff. I don't need to just chill here. It's fine.
If you want to come back and talk about other stuff, we can. But like, hand
How
over.
long do you want the podcast episode to be? I don't have anywhere to be this afternoon. We can make this. You can do an extended episode. I am here for it. Right? But okay, leg.gg. Oh god, what do you want to know about the server?
I don't know, it's minigames. What's your favorite minigame?
What's your favorite?
How do you enjoy it? Free to join, people can show up.
Oh god. So okay. So we have an SMP server. I've had an SMP server for forever. I'm a Minecraft YouTuber. That's kind of to be expected. You make a server, people get to play on it, right? That's Minecraft 101. All right. If you're a creator and you're getting to the point where you have any sort of community, make a server so that people can play. It does require you to admin a server, which is its own special circle of hell. But if you're okay with it and you're good with it, or if you can find somebody who is good with it, make a server, because nothing will bring a community together than playing and existing in what feels like a physical space with each other. And
Isn't
a Minecraft
that right,
server
Chaos?
feels like that because you're controlling your own character. So, yeah.
Isn't that right, Chaos?
No. Leave my servers
that
alone.
right?
Leave my servers
Okay, wait.
alone.
Have I struck a nerve here? Hold on. My turn to ask
I've
questions.
run multiple SMPs in the past, and there's been multiple times where the restart server button is right next to the delete server button. And we have hit the self-destruct button, so we just keep like restarting, and it has become a bit where it's like it got to the point where I started a server where it's like, yeah, restart every month. Why don't
You still
worry
broke
about it? It's fine.
And you'd still break it halfway
It
through the
still
month.
breaks.
You would get a message
It's
at
fine.
midnight your time of one of us messaging you,
Mhm.
going, "Hey, I know you're at work, and I know you have to wake up early in the morning, but we broke the server again."
Yeah, right now.
Name it. What is the server?
So it was originally World Hoppers, and now it is Ampersand. Ampersand is a amplified terrain SMP. And there's been times where we do like backups of the server, and the next time someone logs on, the terrain has been double amplified. So you'll just get insanity. My ability to break a world is truly unmatched, I will say.
Our chunk is just gone, and we go, "Chaos, where's the chunk?" And you go,
I'll bring it
"Other
back.
friend, Millette, where's the chunk?"
Yeah.
I put it in the sky.
Honestly,
Well,
half
no,
the
that's
time it is
actually
like
what
if you
I'll-
look up, or if for some reason the bedrock's missing and you look down and at bedrock is the original ground level. That's happened before. I don't think I should be adminning servers.
Oh, great. Server's
anymore.
haunted. Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah, no,
little
server is
bit.
haunted. I think it's my fault. I left like 20 dogs at the server border and then teleported to spawn,
Yeah.
and they're still there.
Everything's fine.
They're still there.
It's
Server's
fine.
haunted.
Server's haunted.
Server's haunted.
Server's haunted. You could write lore out of that. You could put lore out of anything. Like someone could
There was a
come
mod
up
we used for a while that basically it would bring in like character avatars for like people who are offline. So I would just walk up to like, oh, there's Endy logged on right now, and then Endy would just disappear, and I'm like, that wasn't Endy. So
that was a ghost.
Hi.
we had to get rid of that one.
Yeah,
My
I can
ghost
see
is
that
hanging
being
out.
a little messed up. So I had a server for the longest time because that's what you do as a Minecraft YouTuber. You make an SMP and you let people play on it and everything else. And I'm very lucky that a couple members of the community who broke, and when I say broke, I mean capital BROKE, broke the economy and everything else that I did in season 1 of the server. One of them literally made a Roman bathhouse out of diamonds and and had multiple dispensers just dispensing diamonds pretty much infinitely, and had multiple shulker boxes of diamond ore because I was a dummy with the way that I set up certain trades. And he basically goes, "You can't do economies anymore. It's my job now." And that's what he's done for 6 years. So that's been quite fun. You mentioned the server's down right now because we're migrating to new hardware to upgrade a bunch of stuff. So I'm watching the dev chat in the background of us doing this. But we've had that for the longest time. I am a software engineer by trade. That's what I did before becoming a creator primarily. Like before I went and quit my job to be a full-time YouTuber, I was head of processes and procedures for a department of 75 people. So I'd gone from software engineer to manager up to like the director level at my company. And there was a very fun at the all hands meeting to be able to be like, "Hey, by the way, y'all, I'm leaving in a month to go do videos on the internet. Cool." I still interact with a lot of people from that job, though. I have a
Good.
D&D game that is approaching its climax after 7 years with a bunch of people from that company. So that is quite fun. That's a fun story for another day. But I am obsessed with extraction shooters, even though it's not a game that I could play on the Legundo YouTube channel, right? So Escape from Tarkov or Marathon, Arc Raiders is a newer one that's in that genre that a lot of people played. But it goes all the way back to RPG games set in New York City after a viral outbreak, which is slightly triggering nowadays, called The Division, which came out, thank God, in 2017. So it was unfortunately prophetic, but that had a game where it was kind of like a battle royale, but you had to extract to get out. But it also had a portion of the map where if you walked into that area, PvP was enabled. So you could go do and fight all the enemies, but at any point in time, you could just turn on the player next to you and take them out, steal their stuff, and get it out, and then had to get to a door to get out of the dark zone. I've loved that gameplay loop because it's very fun to be like, we can be enemies or we can be friends, and you have this very tense alliance potentially as you're taking on all the NPCs, and then the moment comes where you need to leave each other. Does that happen peacefully or not? And the social game of that, and
allyship.
it's like okay, very fun. So I've always wanted to make those games, so I made that in Minecraft. I built a game like that in Minecraft. It took like a year of coding. And then we've had that for a while. And then Thanksgiving last year, I was bored. So I made a game that when your heart's hit 0, you explode. And then I put it on a Sky Battle map because I suck at Sky Battle. And it's really bad that when you have 10 hearts and then you're dead and then you're out. So then you're like 36th place, requeued for the next game. Fine. So I wanted a game that you could be silly with it. So I made that. And then it's just been like, oh, okay, let's make a new game. 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 And the server has expanded to that. And going back to Rising, 4C had an event that he had run a long time ago, 4Civit, using command blocks and a data pack to do this competitive flower picking game because he thinks it's hilarious to take a bunch of deadly Minecraft YouTubers and make them pick flowers.
Yeah.
And he's right, because it is very funny. Let's just make this for real. And I coded the whole thing up. We've run 2 events with it. We did a charity event with Make-A-Wish. We raised almost £4,000 in a couple hours. But it was very fun to have people competitively picking flowers while also giving them maces and withers and other things to be able to throw at each other. So it does lead to very fun crossovers again. And shout out to Cece and Liam, more Rising 3 people who helped build the teams for all of that. So the thing is just slowly built up and it's slowly expanded to make more and more and more stuff. And yeah, we have just a very cool space with games that are a little bit different and a community is really special, and we're able to make a lot of very cool stuff about it. So hopefully people hear about it and will come play, and it's fun. I'm working on Extraction Season 2 right now, and it's a lot of work to redo it. It's very
moral
fun.
of the story: don't let them get bored.
Let them get bored. Cool things happen.
Either that or make me get bored so that things
take
start moving.
Everything out. Congrats, we finished everything. Let's see what he does.
No, yeah, we can fix it. I love how you're staring into the mirror as you say that. That is intense. I'm not gonna lie. People are missing out that this is not a video podcast because that was
not.
Bad
No,
things will happen.
It's fine. No, I'm not pressuring unless. No, I'm not pressuring anything. Unless, no.
Give us a number goal. Make Chaos do the next one as a video podcast if we get a number goal.
But it's more of the same thing, right? I found all these people throughout the years who are really cool at making cool stuff, and getting to them and be like, let's make something cool together. And whether that have been server related things or different series that I've been involved in over the years, or more recent stuff like Vampires that has obviously put a lot of eyes onto myself and all the other creators involved, and then more stuff on top of that that's coming. It is how to say it. It is all, everything has required everything before it, and it is all just building on being willing to take a risk and do something new. And that's kind of the biggest advice or the biggest thing as far as content creation as a whole. Doing the safe thing is easy. It's a death spiral. You need to be doing new things all the time, or else it's going to eventually just fizzle out. So
we gave advice, I think, last week that was basically like, do it now and do it ugly, because then you learn how to make it better. And if you wait until you're better, then it's never going to happen. And it's like,
oh, absolutely.
That way you build on yourself and you create things, and like the final masterpiece can't exist without the horrible sketch you made.
100%. Make it now. You can make it perfect later. Like if you go look at some of my older videos, and I think right now you can't even find my oldest videos because they're just gone. They're on channels that have been deleted.
Yeah, my oldest stuff.
They're on websites that don't exist anymore. The amount of progression, the amount of progression from me a year ago to where I am now in content creation is so significantly different. It is a constant evolution, or it is just stagnation and you're just kind of giving up. So you need to do it, and you need to start. Make the bad video now. Make the bad video now and go from there is the most important thing.
Yes, your Stardew video is still up. I found
It's
it.
still up? Oh no.
It's still up.
Wait.
I found it.
Wait, the Stardew 100 days or the Stardew... Okay, it's the Stardew 100 days then.
The 100 days is still up.
It's not the one where I pretended to be Walter White who was becoming a podcaster.
But now that you say that...
Now that you say that, I have to find...
So
let me see.
I did that. No, it's not there. I'm 95% sure it's unlisted at this point. It might look. You could probably find it in like the hidden videos playlist because I didn't hide it, but it's not broadcasted out because the way YouTube recommends videos like that, a lot of stuff has changed. The Legundo channel started as a Halo channel because I was getting off of.
Yeah, I can tell.
For a while, and then I eventually just found my way back because it was the thing that I could do the most in, which is quite funny. Yeah, I see you frantically scrolling. It's making me nervous.
It's fine.
Everything's fine.
I'll find it later and send it to you.
Oh no, that's a threat.
Because for now, I have to make a random sound because Chaos makes me make a random sound for the Q&A.
Originally, we were going to put music there, and then I never got around to making the music for it, so we just made Andy do it every week.
Thrown off the top of my
Something's
head.
Not right.
Something's not right.
Something's not
as we don't cross the line. One no repeatedly. Welcome to the Q&A.
So question number 1 is from Toothy the Dragon, is basically asking, what is everyone's favorite pastime that is not content creation? That is like, what is your reset time?
Oh wow. Look, this is extremely unhealthy, but there's very few things I do that are not content driven.
Legs.
You have one hobby.
No, but do I though?
But
yeah, you do.
But do I though? I
you
do a lot of 3D printing and stuff, but then I usually just use that to make things that I hand out at conventions. And I'm getting into Pokemon cards a little bit, especially with my kid. Like my daughter's getting involved in Pokemon cards, but I've been opening them on stream because it's fun to do that because people like seeing shiny cardboard.
That's true. Yeah. That's very true.
I did Kung Fu for a few years, and I did martial arts basically growing up my whole life, and I got back into it a few years ago. And then 2020 happened, and the school got closed. So it's like, oh, well, okay, that's unfortunate. So, I mean, realistically, my only hobby is the time that I spend with my kids. That's my recharge time. Or sometimes the draining time when they're in gremlin mode, which any parent who says that that's not true is lying. But it's spending the time with my kids and being able to kind of live vicariously through them as they're just growing up, just getting involved in things, just getting started with things, and figuring out themselves and the world and all of that. That's my recharge. That's my offline time. So they'll go swimming or something like that. But I don't feel like those are my hobbies as much. So it's kind of hard to say. My hobby is parenting, I guess.
Yeah, okay. Well, when you're a parent, that's all you get.
Yeah, kind of.
The fact that you can have a job too is...
That's pretty much it. That's it.
Nope. As you can probably see there's a bookshelf behind me, and there's a bookshelf next to me, and there's a bookshelf in another room. I really like reading. I don't know how that's going to work once I start getting into my research classes. I will be reading very different things. But for now, I like books. And I like...
There's also a wall of corpses of books.
There's a wall of corpses of books.
Hey, that's the backdrop. We ignore that one. That's the backdrop.
Honestly, those books sucked, and I tried to sell them to a used bookstore, and they said no. And so I went, cool, backup plan, wall.
It's a killer background. It really works, but it is very funny. You're like, I love books, except for these that I killed into the wall.
Listen, back before the pandemic, like back when I was in high school, I used to be part of BookTube. I used to like be a part of the side of YouTube that was reading 100 books a year, reading challenges, reviews, wrap-ups, TBRs, and I'm like, I got really into books. I really like books, which is funny because I'm extremely dyslexic and can't read very well.
Also, props to you, to be honest.
A shelf of comic books. I really love comic books. I'm a big Shazam fan.
One of the few.
That's good.
1970s and 1980s Shazam, and right after they changed his name from Captain Marvel, that is like peak comic book time in my mind.
I was about to ask, is it Shazam Captain Marvel?
It was the original Captain Marvel published by Wiz Comics, which was Fawcett Publications, which was then got in a lawsuit with DC about the Superman copyright, and then like Shazam was like, we did everything before you though, and then they won, but they lost a whole bunch of money, so they went under, and then DC bought them and went, we're gonna publish maybe like 10 runs of this character and then never speak about him again.
Bummer.
And that's my favorite.
Everything, all of my hobbies are creative one way or another, so a lot of them seep into my content creation, even if I do them separately. Like embroidery, I will do embroidery and the like all the time. Painting, obviously.
Oh, that's really you should post a picture of that or something.
I do. I only show my watercolor stuff on Art Fight during that season because if I'm going to show people art, I'm gonna battle them with it. I'm gonna beat them to a pulp with awesome art of the characters.
A big part of my community is into Art Fight every year. Absolutely valid. So, heck yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I have like. There's no place like you won't see some sort of costume in my room. Like everything's shoved just out of the screen, and that one would not fit.
It's so bad.
Eventually,
I'd
say that my room is clean for the camera angle, but
and then nowhere else. And then the dog comes in.
No, the dog. There's just fluff across the floor. If I don't clean the moment I'm starting the camera, there will be some version of dog toy stuffing everywhere, and I can't help it. He's asleep now, but this thing's a menace. He'll just destroy toys for fun.
My dog does not like toys, but does like just biting my arm. It's like, well, the only I know we're supposed to train that out of a dog, but at the same time, he's about 10 pounds. He's really not dangerous.
You've got tiny dog anger.
He's so small and so full of rage.
The problem is, because I do the cosplay and sewing and stuff so frequently, making of clothes, making of costumes, hats, blah, 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 I have 2 separate body mannequins in my room that every once in a while the dogs figured about. And so sometimes it'll be fine. There's a body. Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, that's
good.
Question 2 is from Trash Burger Blair on Tumblr. Favorite part of using Minecraft as a means for storytelling? And now I'm going to say please use this to talk about SBK, because you've started doing lore on SBK.
Okay. SBK. Oh my god. We talked about so many things. We didn't even get to talk about Skyblock Kingdoms. My god. Skyblock Kingdoms, the server that I was a fan of before I got to be a part of, which was very cool. Because I've known Viking for years. We did a server called Dominion, which went the way of how SMPs go, like more often than not, unfortunately. Rest in pieces. But afterwards, he went forward to create the idea of doing multiplayer Skyblock. And with the idea of basically each duo of people, and you start as a duo. Each duo of people gets a monopoly over a wood type. So everybody's building based off of a specific wood type. So it's a different, it inherently ties you to a specific build style or something like that. And we're on season 2 now. I joined in season 2. I watched it in season 1, and I was messaging him just being like, this is a great idea. This is awesome. Everything else. To the point where he asked me to be canonically the reason that the world ended in season 1, which I didn't know about. He just asked for a flashback file of me loading a world up and a couple voice lines. And I didn't realize until blocks started falling on SBK Season 1 that it was going to be my fault. And he did not tell me before he had the footage, and by then it was too late. So he did that, and then I joined in Season 2. But I think the thing that works about Minecraft as a medium, there's two aspects of it that work really well. One is you can code a lot of stuff on top of it to make a lot of things just work. Like the APIs, the fact that Minecraft is not open source, but is as close to it as you can get without actually being open source as far as how extendable it is. And a decade worth of work into going to make the game moddable in a bunch of different ways. That's pretty much that's the first and most important point, because without that, it doesn't work. You need some sense of the mechanics or the mechanisms of whatever story you're telling to function. And that's super important. I think the second half is that it is just unrealistic enough that you feel comfortable doing basically anything and people's imaginations will fill it in. I think my favorite piece of fan art of all of Vampires is the expectation versus reality of the bloodletting scene. Because I think the expectation is I'm draped over with my arm up over my head and Owen coming in for my neck. And meanwhile, reality is I'm standing there, he is squatted, and you just hear gulping sounds at the top, and that's it. And I think that is the one piece of fan art that just absolutely sends me. I love it, and it's very funny, but it is very interesting that 16 pixels across can translate so much into vivid imagery for everybody else, but it is just specific enough that everybody has the same starting point, but just vague enough that the renditions and renders of how the characters look, how different scenes look, how different situations look are so wildly different from artist to artist. You don't feel constrained by this is what the game looks like, because it's just barely enough to be visually present, and then you have so much space. So it's almost like the video is the concept art for all of the amazing fan art and everything else that gets created on top of it.
Yeah, your 2 pixels of blood in your vampire's hair. Everyone's like, that's brains.
Yeah,
brains.
everyone's like,
My
your shield
God.
open. There's an axe in your head, and I'm like, oh, okay, sure, if you say so.
I like to describe it as the grown-up version of sitting in the sandbox playing with blocks. Because you're telling a vivid story to one another and it means something to you. But at the end of the day, you're playing blocks with your friends, and it is the other people and you that make it as big and as important it is. And I like the description of it being a storyboard thing, though the visuals do have some impact, I will say, because let me tell you, in the Vampires finale, you pulled out that other skin. I had to pause the video, step back and rant to a friend of mine.
Yeah.
There is a record of me going to this friend. Why? That man is going through it. I think the world is ending. I'm not sure.
So it is very funny. But then to take it back to SBK, right? SBK is a very long-term server. It is a very intensive server where people are doing these mega bases and mega builds and everything else like that. And you get to craft up, and especially with it being Skyblock, you're crafting every single piece of terrain. If there was a block there, it was put there by somebody, right? Yeah, there's structures, but you get my point, right? That like if there's a block there and if it's part of somebody's base, it was put there. It was intentional. So every single little thing is very intentionally designed. And I think the cool part about that, and you see the same for like bases in Hermitcraft or the bases from Empires, is again, you get to, like you said, put blocks together, tell a cool story, build up a cool set, and then people go on top of that and being able to make cool stuff. So you get enough creative people together, you'll come up with something amazing. And yeah, it does regularly feel like we're kind of just concepting out the future fan art. And I don't say that to pressure anybody. I say that to acknowledge the fact that it feels like a lot of these times it feels like I'm making the simplest version of the way something can look, knowing that the community as a whole, who is talented and has the tools to do so can just make it look that much more above and beyond. So it is very cool.
How did you start deciding to like bring lore into Skyblock Kingdom? Because originally it was like the first half of the series has very much been like, and we're building a base, and now it's like someone else is aware on the server, someone is coming into reality and affecting the story.
I feel like Martin in Vampires. I feel like, okay, everybody's showing up and everybody's pulling in their A game. Like, have you seen Leon's videos?
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting outpaced here. I need to catch up. So it started as that, but I think it's also started as when I started with SBK, it was before Vampires and it was before anything else, and it was very much at a point in time where, and we're talking June, so 6 months ago, right? How much has changed in 6 months? But I was very much at a point where looking at what YouTube wanted and what the community wanted from YouTube videos was, don't try to do this intense story. I just need something to escape and entertain me. So that's what the first couple episodes were for. But I left little crumbs that if I ever wanted to go in and pull back to, I could use and I could retcon into being little lore statements or something like that. So when the season started, it was very much like, I'm just playing on a server with my friends and I'm making something like that. And as we've gone and everybody else has now shown up with these intense storylines and characters and full plots already set out, and having to reconcile 26 people's individual lore and storytelling on a server is complicated. I'm like, well, might as well make it worse. So I came in with this idea, and it's funny because I have this long-standing lore, like character lore from the 100 Days series, because I tried to treat them as a series with Decim and the multiverse and everything else surrounding that. And I know by mentioning that, hi Solar, you specifically are very excited to hear this. But having all of that come in and now having that kind of come back into play in Haunted Winter a little bit, which has been very fun. I'm like, I want to tell a second story. I don't want everything to just be one thing. So it is very distinctly different. It is not, and I've said this before, so this is not like a huge spoiler. It is not Decim. It is something different. But I had the idea of, I don't know what to say without giving too much away. Oh no.
Oh, no.
Here's all I'll say. I recently watched.
Okay. That's sure. Okay.
And I'm like, ooh.
Ooh.
That could be fun.
That's not terrifying thought at all. No.
You know what would be very fun is if you bleep that in the edit. Be like, I recently watched, and you censor it. So that way you two know.
Do it.
You two know.
Everybody else gets
I'm
one.
going to be trusted with a secret. That's horrible. I'm horrible at keeping secrets.
That could be very entertaining. It was very much from everybody else on the server really showing up and really flexing muscles to be able to make something like that. And it's like, okay, well, I'm capable of this. I think I've proven to myself I'm capable of this. I can do this again. So let's come up with something, and starting to come up with a story. And yeah, to the point of we've broken the conceit of the server of people have monopolies over these things, and we've broken that. We have now duplicate kingdoms for Dark Oak and for Birch for different reasons for both kingdoms, but they ended up being those two, and it ties in very much to the stories of Dark Oak Kingdom and Birch Kingdom. So, okay, if that can change, what else can change? And if we're talking about changing the conceit of what a series is based off of, what ripple effects would something like that have? So it's been very.
I love the butterfly effect.
Yeah, it's been
my
very
favorite thing
to what's everything that's happened. I'm not trying to be a driving force for the whole season. I'm not trying to come in and make myself the main character, but it is very much just being like, okay, what if you had this background character in everybody else's stories that is starting to realize how ridiculous this is? That could be interesting to explore. Let's do that.
There once was like a Tumblr prompt of like comic relief character becomes very self-aware. And it's like, well, comic relief character can't die unless it's that kind of story. What can I get up to figure out how this world's gonna work?
Or the TikTok the TikToks that I'll see occasionally of you get isekai'd into another world, but you can hear the soundtrack?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, all right, everybody, let's get ready for that fight. And she always just turns her head up, and then some song will blast, and she's like, nope, we're done today.
No, I'm gonna wait. Canceling the plan.
I'm good.
Cancel the plans. Not this week. Not this week. We'll come back another time.
There's
But-
a random white guy walks in and boss music starts playing.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
I'm gonna
It's just a guy named Jeff.
It's time to leave. Like,
Just
I
gonna
shouldn't
head out.
be
You're
here.
doing beautiful.
But
Not me.
It's being able to play in something like that. I didn't have a whole big story planned out. I didn't have a big, huge character arc or this big revealing lore planned out. But now that everybody's stories are starting to come into play, how do I reconcile that as somebody playing on the server? And it's like, well, what if I actually reconciled it as somebody playing on the server? Okay, wait a minute.
Make this a little meta now.
Yeah, so I was like,
Ooh.
yeah, it's okay.
You had
Yeah,
we're getting off the Q&A question, but like you had lore at one point that was like was it 311 or 133 or your number? What's the magic number?
313.
Yes.
That's when I died in my first hardcore world.
Oh,
That's all it
okay.
is. It's just a callback to when the original 100 Days series blew up and the original 100 Days world blew up. First one went ridiculous. By that time, I was already editing the second one, so I did that. I edited the third one, and then I started streaming on day 301,
Yeah.
and I died on day 313 to an Optifine glitch
No.
that made Piglin Brutes invisible. That I got 3-shot by an invisible enemy that I could not damage. But the rules I had set for myself that if I knew about a glitch and I died to it, it was still a valid death. And I had been warned 20 minutes prior to it happening that was a glitch. And I'm like, we'll just go through this stream and then I'll fix it for the next stream. Dead. So
Yep.
313 was the original Hardcore Series 1 world death. And that just became a number that I liked calling back to, because for people who have been aware of the channel for the longest time, who have known about everything that I've done for the longest time, that number just holds specific weight. It's not like a major lore element, even though I've used it a lot in
Could be.
storytelling things. But it's just a fun callback. I like being able to do stuff like that.
Make it into lore.
I know. I mean, yeah, that
You can
remember
make
the
anything
amount of
into lore.
people that Doctor killed? That's
Yeah.
there.
6350 at the end of both events. I wanted it to be in the middling thousands, which is why I put a 6 at the beginning. But the 313 was a hardcore callback, right? And also the fact that it just the syllables like 6,313, like it gave a good flow as a character, even though I never said the number in canon. But if I had, it would
Too
have
bad.
it would have fit into a scene.
It felt like a competition. Who could secretly kill the most?
Yeah,
amount of
Owen's like,
people?
I
Yeah,
killed this
Cleo
many
wins.
people.
What? Cleo win? What?
29,104. It was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, Owen totally killed. Well, Scott,
No.
Legs is
We have an unknown Scott and an
Cleo.
unknown abolish number, and then we have an insane doctor number, and then Cleo just is the winner. Everyone,
Cleo wins, and they deserve everything.
the end. I still find it so funny that's like if you Google zombie Cleo's face, my face shows up, and I'm like, that is it is like if I talk about a faceless YouTuber, 9 out of 10 times if you try to Google that person's face, it is my face that shows up, and
That's actually quite funny.
it is.
Dude.
I am Google image results. Sure.
This was a while ago now, but I remember distinctly when I first started posting my Exuma cosplay, that if you searched up what Exuma looked like, it would be me.
It's very funny because if you Google me, it says I'm dead.
Oh, good to know.
Google AI thinks I am dead
Well,
because of
Chaos-
UHC
Chaos?
generation.
Chaos, I didn't know we were talking to a ghost.
well,
It's a seance.
I am a ghost.
Ooh.
I
Thought Phasmophobia was going to be a different episode.
I can't go in SMP without killing off my character, so you know it fits.
Yeah, Google AI thinks I'm dead because the UHCG wiki, which oh god, we didn't even talk about UHCG, but the UHCG wiki, when I posted the video, they wrote out about my death in the series because that's what you do on a wiki about a series, and
Mhm.
Google has taken that and been like, yeah, he's dead.
He's dead. I mean, it just wants me to be.
Someone in Twitch chat will bring it up every couple of weeks. It's quite funny. The thing is when the community was counting during the Vampires event.
Yes.
The Vampires fan events. I clocked it after 2. I'm like, why is everybody? Oh no,
We're just
y'all are
adding to the number.
devious. So people were just counting. So the first, I didn't see it on the first player that I killed, and the second one that I killed, I look over to chat and I just see 63-15, and I'm like,
That's odd.
no.
It's an alternative future where everyone becomes a vampire and then gets along, right? That's only
Yeah.
semi-canon.
Right?
Yeah.
It was the bad ending. It's very much the community events are the bad ending of the
Bad
series.
ending for the humans, great ending for us.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, it was the bad ending for the humans, and then we had the theoretical good ending that the vampires got killed. And somehow we out mechanicked Owen to get the secret third ending. And that was figured out in character, which is the craziest part. The whole conversation happened in character, and then there was a beat where we all checked in before filming it and being like, okay, so we said we're going to do this. Will the server let us do this?
Yes.
Because at that point, Owen was already dead. So it's just like, oh, okay. Well, okay. So he's flying around as a ghost, swearing his brains out at all of us as we're letting Scott get away with things.
I can curse now.
Literally sending me messages on Discord, which I had up on another monitor as that whole last scene was being recorded. And it's just like, think about what you can do. They're going to betray you. Think about what you're capable of. And I'm like, oh God, you need to stop. But it was so much fun. It was so much fun.
I love friends that enable one another.
Do harm. New motto in life.
Do harm. Do harm sometimes. Do some harm.
I was going through the Hippocratic Oath the other day for unrelated reasons, but I swear it's only sort of relevant. And I was like, okay, so like the whole like do no harm, everyone knows that. And then like everything else of like, man, you like canonically broke all of the other parts of this oath.
Oh, absolutely. That was a checklist.
You like cared about this one thing and then stopped caring about this one thing.
Yeah, that was a checklist. That was very much just a checklist. Look, it's funny because in character, Doc has all these justifications. Me, the person, knows that they are. Can I swear on this stream?
I'll bleep it if it happens. It don't matter. Yeah.
Like, all of Doc's justifications for everything he did, total bull. Okay, that it does not track. It is not valid. It very much is just like, no, you just did bad things because you were capable. That's the decision that you made. You weren't forced to do all of those things. You did them because that was your solution for it. So like Doc's justifications, bullshit. But like his trying to be a better person, that was genuine. So it is, but it is very funny to see people break it apart and to either infer into or put much deeper analysis onto things that were very much made up in the moment. And it's just like, okay, cool. We got to just puzzle pieces back together in some way or another and make it all work. I specifically intentionally did not and will not make any comments of where I think Doc ended up, because I think at that point that's up to the viewer, that's up to the reader as like what they decide the finale for this character is. Because the second I died on that server, my hands are off. It's not my character anymore. It's like in D&D, your character dies and you hand the character sheet over to the DM, and for that point in time, it is for them to do with what they please. And that was like the end of the campaign for me, and now it's the community's character to kind of do with what they wish.
I'm playing a gelatinous cube in D&D, so when I die, I get split in half, and I write Junior on my character sheet and split all of my stats in half, and it's just I'm progressively getting worse as I level up.
Oh no!
It's a choice. It's made very interesting moments, which is ultimately what I'm going for.
Oh no.
This is going to be slightly odd, but I know that you are aware of fan fiction, that you have seen things.
Oh yeah, I'm everywhere.
I think my favourite thing somebody has done with the Doc character is alternative ending where everyone's turned into vampires and then Scott ran away, and so everyone went, okay, we want to turn back into humans, we're going to track them down. And so the Doc and Owen went off together and are both having this like tragedy together, trying to find Scott, but at the same time, ooh, that's a nice beach house. I see horrors at night. I do too. I think that's one of my favourite things that someone's done with it.
I haven't seen all of it, so like me saying I'm everywhere is obviously,
What
right?
pretend?
I only have so much time on the internet, so don't worry. I haven't seen all of it, but like I have a DNI tag on Tumblr. If people don't want me to see their stuff, it's hard blocked. Like I'll see that a post exists with it if they tag one of the tags I do follow, and then so it'll be blocked out, and you have to click the show more to see it. So I'll see that occasionally posts come through, but I don't search it up or anything else like that. And I obviously have read a bunch of stuff on AO3. Like there's a bunch of older stories from the multiverse as well that I was like catching up on. So I'm aware of. I'm there. I see when people post my name on Reddit or something else like that. Like I'm aware. I get to see all of it. And it is, like you said, it is cool that people are able to now take the character and go do with what they please. So it's been very fun to allow people to see people make AUs of different endings of the Sire Swap AU, which is I think just people are starting to write. People mainly been doing art for it, but some people are starting to now that kind of like art, and people have decided what the canon swap would be. And I think me and Pyro was one of the front runners of the people would have liked to have seen quite a bit often. Is very interesting. And there's a few pieces of art that if I had gone the beautiful vampire dressed elegantly kind of route, I think would be the canon art of the whatever the skin would have been. But no, I decided from very early on that I did not want to go the fancy vampire route. If I had gotten infected early, I would have stayed tier 2 for as long as possible. Because I always wanted that tier 3 reveal to just be a moment of like, what the hell happened to you, man? What's guts
too much,
and brains falling out.
Yeah,
and then apparently got an axe in his skull.
Yeah,
you know that.
You said if he turns like super early, would have done like horrible experiments on people. So who even to say is like whose blood is that?
I also would have been complaining about headaches constantly
because the eyeball.
Because it would have had a fake eye, because the doc had a glass eye. I would have been complaining about headaches constantly, and then I'm not going to go too much into it because I know I don't want to overdo it for people. But I would have complained about headaches constantly until I went to the tier 3, and then the green was gone. I'm like, that's better. And that's it. That would have been one of the first things. But obviously, the character went a very different way.
But it's good to play with. It's fun to play with characters.
In the community events, I figured out in the community events that if Doc would have turned early, he would have been obsessed with people's manners. Just being polite. Like, being polite and cordial and orderly and respectful would have been just a core character trait of the Doc if he was just evil. I don't know. It seems like a fun thing to add on.
I love character. I love playing with characters. I love possibilities. It's my favorite thing.
I have a lot
of favorite things, apparently. D&D, let's go. Got my dice box right over there.
But yeah, like I said, I've had a campaign that I've been running with IRL former coworkers. That's 7 years running right now. They're at the end. They are like just outside of the final boss room of the whole campaign. It's intense. And then I've done a bunch of one-shots with different groups of people for different things. There's the Gallery of Antiquities one-shot, which we did, which was Nominal, Oppo, Gold, and May. So again, MCC Rising people plus friends of MCC Rising people all getting together to make cool stuff. Like, that group is rock solid about being able to make stuff over the years together, and I love it. It's quite fun.
We gotta do our final question. Remember when we said this was a 30-minute podcast? We lied. Ain't that the way of things?
Hey, I said extended episode. Why not?
All right, the final question is from Orlis on Discord. What is your most controversial Minecraft mob-related opinion?
Mob-related opinion?
For me, I love glow squids to the day I die, and I hate allays.
Oh God!
I like the weird zombie.
What do I pull? Because I have thoughts about certain things. I think phantoms are fine. I think phantoms are fine. Put a block above your head. It takes 10 seconds.
Go to bed, maybe.
Go to sleep.
Self-care, people. It's not hard. But phantoms were added to prevent people from AFKing nonstop at farms overnight. It's a mechanical thing to disincentivize player behavior for just infinite resource generation and just leaving your computer on overnight, which makes sense. So put a block over your head, just design around it a little bit, or use a bed and sleep. So I think phantoms are fine. I think the hate on phantoms is unjustified, and I think that is people in the Minecraft community not being willing to change their playstyle even the tiniest little bit.
Well, the
That's
Minecrafters
gonna
are stubborn.
someone. I can call it now. You know what? I might get my first twit longer because of that. That might actually
Ooh.
be the first thing that somebody's gonna post about me. Who knows? This is gonna go, oh no. Oh no.
My problem mostly is that like I play mostly with like a like very subtle gamma on. Okay, I don't even realize it's night half the time because I'm building, and then I'll like step outside my build and I'll just get like knocked off my tower, and I'm like, oh, it's been
That's a you
4
issue.
nights. Whoops.
That's a you issue.
I feel like phantoms exist as a in-universe ADHD test. And I feel like
Okay, well now I'm being called out.
That's that.
not
Yeah,
to
so that
put
is a you
anyone on
issue.
blast, but I feel like that's the truth. And I say that as every single person on SBK has taken both an ADHD and an autism test off camera just as a thing that we've all done, because why not?
Gotta.
Well, I have like there's been multiple times where I'm like, do I have autism? But the thing is like there's people in my family whose job it is to diagnose autism, and I'll just look at them and they're like, no, but you probably should get a diagnosis for ADHD.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
Can you do it?
Here's the thing. Is if you get to the point where you're making content, or even if it's, especially so if it becomes your job, to play with little boxes, to play with little cubes, if your job is to play with little cubes and put them together and make play pretend for your job, you're statistically more likely to have a neurodivergency.
Let me quickly describe every Minecrafter ever. Warrior cats, theater kids. No. I'm calling out the warrior cats. Let me. Autism, ADHD, and redstoners. That is. I don't know what redstoners fall under, but it's probably all of them.
I
different
put
categories?
redstoners under engineers.
Engineers, yeah.
You could probably just say engineers instead of redstoners, and that way it's all IRL things. Because
Yeah, for the
I definitely
record,
come from the software engineer category of it, so there's that.
Yeah, I love Redstone Bug to the day I die. Like, that is my best friend and mod right there. And every now and then I just get a rant sent to me about warrior cats and like how warrior cats roleplay has ultimately led into the current content creation field. And I'm like, great. Okay.
I mean, you were in chat when me and Vintage were geeking out about Pixie Hollow. Okay,
Yeah.
I saw your name go by.
Possibly.
yeah, let's go.
I
That
was
was
part
my
of Pixie
jam.
Hollow too. Don't worry about it.
It's season 4. First spoilers for season 4 of SBK. You were in chat. Okay, I can't talk either. I play Minecraft for a living.
That's so
I'm
real.
37 years old.
That's
You're playing
As I've
blocks
said
for a
in
living.
video, there are certain sentences that you just have to get used to them being ridiculous. As long as they're true, that's all that's important. So that's fine.
I worry about talking about redstoners in real life. Nobody listened to this podcast out loud, because trying to explain to my family when I described a redstoner, they were concerned about what a
drugs.
redstoner is.
Drugs.
Well, yeah, I mean, to be fair, and I'm going to say this in a way that is quite funny, you do get redstoners from killing one of the mobs that is throwing drugs at you. So there is that.
That's something.
That's something. That's fine.
It's something. That's for
I
sure.
cannot wait to figure out what the cold open for this episode is going to be. What line out of context?
It's going to be drugs.
You have so
No,
many
please,
choices
no more
right
drugs.
now. You have so many choices right now, and it's going to be so exciting to see which one it is.
Don't worry about it. I'll figure
It's
it
that
out.
one right there where you question it.
Yeah, maybe. It might be. We'll go meta with it.
That's kind of all the questions I had pulled up. I don't know. Do you have anything to ask?
Legs, ask us questions.
Oh,
I dare
no.
you. I dare you.
Okay, favorite episode that you've done so far of the podcast?
The podcast? I like talking to Gideon, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we got Gideon the musician on. That was pretty good. I mean, I gotta talk about Shazam. I'm here to talk about Shazam. No one likes Shazam except me, and I'm very passionate about Shazam.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I know the Vampires episode 1 that we did was probably our most popular one. That's going to be people's fans' favorite. But I really like when we got to like dive into any sort of Tumblr conversation, like the Danny Phantom DC crossover that we did. It's like that exists exclusively on Tumblr. Like nowhere else can you find that fandom.
And AO3.
And AO3. Majority of the things posted on AO3 are reposts from Tumblr blogs. Like
I was gonna say those two coexist pretty nicely.
Yeah.
So you could just say Tumblr with a 3 instead of the E, and then no, there is no E in Tumblr. God, I'm such a fake.
No,
fan.
you add 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You add the 3 back where the E is supposed to go. There you go.
Tumblr
Such
cubed.
a big fan. I've exposed myself now. Oh no.
Still one of these days we gotta talk about Rise of the Brave Tangled Dragon. Like that weird crossover fandom. We have to talk about it.
I'm not sure that we can explain what.
So Rise of the Guardians was one movie, and then Brave is another movie, and then Tangled's another movie, and then How to Train Your Dragon is another movie. They all came out roughly within the same time frame, and so people who grew up watching that started realizing, oh, these character dynamics would be really cool together, and so it started being its like weird group fandom of like we're going to combine these, and there's like full on like re-edited movies out on YouTube of like people combining these characters and like making a story out of it.
I can see that. Honestly, yeah, that tracks. I can totally see that.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's like I love really hyper specific Tumblr things. Like that is my heart.
Yeah, no.
This is how we stay on our corner.
Look,
it's my favorite corner.
It's a good
keep
corner.
your corner as home, but don't stay in your corner. Like keep your corner. That's fine, but don't stay there. Right? Push out. You're fine.
No, I don't think I will. I think I'll break server. Like I'm trying to go become my own YouTuber, my own content creator. I break it 7 times. I go, man, I'm just gonna go talk about vampires again.
This is the respite at the end of the day. Listen, I cosplayed too much. I did all of Hermitcraft for 2.5 seasons, and then I said, I'm going into retirement for at least a year. Well, all I get to talk about is me and Chaos and random Tumblr ideas. This is my 1 year retirement
right now.
Yeah, this is break.
This is my relaxation of content creation.
Okay, I work at a school and I'm going to university. I'm currently on my winter break right now, and I'm choosing to. I don't exist in rest. I don't have a rest mode.
Like, yeah, me neither. I was heck, I was streaming on Christmas. It was fun.
Oh my
Look,
gosh.
this is both not rest, but also not draining, if that makes sense. And I hope it's true for you too as well, right? It might not be rest, but it is something that gives me energy, and it doesn't take. Editing, sometimes editing does, because I have to listen to my own voice, which can be infuriating. I don't know how
it's not
people
even
do
my own
it,
voice.
but
it's the same sentence 15 times.
Listening to that Legundo guy, oh god.
I love editing so much, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm on my 3rd microphone because I keep going like, my voice.
Yep. Yeah, editing for myself. I don't like listening to myself as much, so editing is definitely the harder part of the whole of content creation for me. But as a whole, editing is also where I get to kind of take it from that raw gameplay and turn it into something that is much more atmospheric or much more of a vibe. Being able, once I get through the rough cut, I'm fine. But having to rough cut raw footage into usable clips is exhausting. That's the part that always takes me the longest out of making any video.
There's been a couple of like cosplay CMVs I'm in where I'm like, I have seen everyone send in their clips, and then the person running it just like, we hear nothing from them. And I'm like, hey, do you need me to edit this for you? Are you sick of this song yet?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, the music videos. I've listened
when
to
you have to listen to the same song
over 50 times in a day.
It's wild because I have the inverse thing. I will sometimes put on one song on loop for 3 or 4 hours while coding something for the server. because it's
But
just
it's
like
not
this,
the whole song.
Yeah,
yeah.
everyone
Oh,
has
yeah.
The same
Yeah.
line
You're
of the
listening to the
song.
same 10 seconds of the song over and over again, not the whole song. So it's just earworming the whole time. Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Never mind. I take
Mhm.
it back. That's the worst.
Yeah.
and yet we still
I've
keep
said
doing
what I had
it
to say.
Hey,
Mhm.
for the love of the game, if
for the
nothing
love
else.
of the game.
Yeah.
I love Minecraft. Storytelling, let's go!
Yeah.
Who needs
Yeah.
sports when you got vampires, I guess? I don't know what's up with that.
MCC. Who needs sports when you have
Yeah.
MCC?
My two favorite sports are MCC and wheelchair rugby. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, yeah.
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 Shout out to Block Wars as well. Love me some Block Wars. It's an amazing event.
I respect
And
it.
I love that specifically with their cast, they try to pull a lot more from the variety space. You know how I said I don't want Minecrafters to isolate ourselves? I think Block Wars does a really good job of getting people who are not in the MCYT space involved in Minecraft events. So shout out to them. Shout out to the whole crew who works on that server. I think they do really good work in kind of
Okay.
being an arm of outreach for the Minecraft event scene in different spaces too.
People need, I love Minecrafters. I do. But every now and then I'm like, you need to go play one social deduction game for 5 minutes.
We do that too. Like I think it is funny because you said hobbies. For a while, Clock Tower was my hobby, not on stream, but now it's become a part of the streams and become a part of the content that I make because because people love it. People love being able to, and I've said this to somebody recently who very much did not vibe with social deduction games because of something that they had dealt with. But being able to lie about silly things comes from a place of very deep trust with the people that you play with. And being able to do that and then laugh about it once the lie gets revealed is something that's extremely cathartic and extremely healthy. So if anybody's ever been like, I don't want to play this game because why would I want to lie to my friends? I think that think about it from that, about being able to lie about small and silly things and then at the
I'm
end being
looking
able
at
to
you.
laugh about it. And that's a lot of fun. So
my
if you haven't yet, go
favorite
play one.
Blood on the Clock Tower story. It's like I was doing it with a whole bunch of streamers, and the one game we did not stream was my favorite game ever, which is of course how it goes. And it was I was the poisoner minion, and the demon was a Yagababble, but the demon had to leave halfway through the game because of like some family thing. And so the game runner came to me and was like, "You're now the Yagababble. Scrap your poisoner thing." But I had already taken over the bluff role of, I'm forgetting what it's called. The one who gets a truth and a lie every day. So
The savant.
So I was balancing being a poisoner, the telling truths and lies every day, and now I was also the Yagababble. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this.
Favorite demon because it is very social about how you can slip that phrase into different conversations.
And
I guess my favorite demon, Evil Twin, is my favorite minion because the morning of day one, you get two people being like, "They're evil, they're evil, they're evil, they're evil," just screaming at each other the whole time. It's so much fun because it is purely social. Like there's a mechanical output of the demon, but of that minion, but it is very social. And especially if you have a good storyteller that can mechanically back up both the good and the evil, it is very social on which one do you trust. And I love that specifically about the Evil Twin. Favorite minion.
Let's go cause problems on purpose. That is my favorite thing to do.
A little bit of fun.
A little bit of fun.
As a treat.
I unfortunately say we need to call the podcast here, or else I will not edit it in time.
It's only been 2 hours.
It's only been 2 hours.
I'm trying to subtly push you that way.
It's
I was
fine.
trying.
No. Just don't make it a two-parter.
my water.
I don't believe in two-parters.
Do it all in
I don't
one.
believe in two-parters. It
Okay,
shall be
good.
5 hours long, and that shall be the length of it.
If you
You
somehow
with that
make a
one
5-hour
fan fiction.
podcast out of a 2-hour recording, I'm concerned.
Once upon a time, we did a podcast about this one fan fiction, and the recording file
No,
was
that
like
was a
3
you
or 4
thing.
or 5. Like, it was multiple hours long. And we're like, it's a 30-minute podcast.
Well,
That was a you thing. I'm not involved in that episode, and that was
Happy
the
New Year,
problem.
everybody. You get an extra long episode to end the year.
Happy New Year!
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of FanDive. We'll be back again next Monday diving into yet another fandom. Have a topic or question for the podcast? Head over to our website, fandive.tumblr.com. There you can also find any episode relevant images and general shenanigans that we get up to. It is Tumblr, after all. We're not afraid of being fans of things.